Foundation paper piecing is a technique for sewing quilts using a paper guide. Each polygon represents a piece of fabric, and the numbering indicates the order in which to sew the pieces into the quilt. To sew a design, we first place the paper wrong side up. We then set the first piece of fabric over its polygon, right side up, and finally stack the adjacent fabric for A2, wrong side up. Next, we flip the stack so the paper is on top. Sew along the visible seam line, and flip the stack back again. Finally, we fold the second piece into its position, right side up. The quilt is complete when we've similarly sewn all of the fabrics to the paper. We remove the paper backing and obtain the finished result. This technique can be used to create a wide variety of geometric and pictorial designs. But not every geometric design is paper pieceable. The construction process imposes a variety of constraints on the pattern geometry and sewing order. Unfortunately, a complete set of constraints is not known. So designing foundation paper pieceable patterns is challenging. Designers have to iterate between developing the geometry, manually checking that a viable sewing order exists for it, and redesigning the geometry if they cannot find such an order. In this work, we mathematically formalize the foundation paper piecing process. We represent the geometric design as a dual hypergraph, where nodes represent faces and hyperedges represent seams that connect two or more nodes. In the paper, we prove that determining whether a design is paper pieceable is equivalent to determining whether its dual hypergraph is acyclic. We check this by iteratively plucking leaf hyperedges from the graph. Here, the hyperedge containing F and G is a leaf, because G is only contained in that hyperedge. So we pluck the hyperedge and remove G from the hypergraph. Next, we pluck the hyperedge containing node E, then F, D, H, A, C, and finally node B. Since we have plucked all nodes, the design is paper pieceable, and reversing our leaf plucking order gives us a sewing order for this design. We have applied this algorithm to a variety of geometric designs to identify their sewing orders. These designs range from simple patterns with just a few faces and simple seams to more pictorial designs with many faces and complex seams. The underlying hypergraphs for even the simple designs can be quite complex and can yield many possible sewing orders. We have incorporated our leaf plucking algorithm into a quilt design tool. After we draw each seam in this design, the tool automatically checks that the design is paper pieceable and numbers the faces in a valid sewing order. Alternate sewing orders are also available. If the design is not paper pieceable, our tool highlights seams involved in a cycle in red. Here, we decide to adjust the seams at the sides of the cactus pot to make it paper pieceable again. We continue adding seams until the design is complete. For this camera design, we initially draw the lens, but would like it to be more symmetric, so we redesign the seams at the top. But our tool indicates that the design contains a cycle and is not paper pieceable. So we redesign the geometry again so the lens is symmetric and the design is paper pieceable, eventually forming this complete camera design. In this house pattern, adding the chimney breaks paper pieceability. We fix the problem by adding a section line, putting the roof in one section and the walls below in another section. Later, as we add the windows to the design, we again break paper pieceability. Here we choose to break the design into 3 additional sections to fix the problem. In all these cases, the tool helps us catch and resolve design problems before we get too far ahead in our design. And here are the quilted results. We invited 3 quilters with varying levels of paper piecing experience to make designs using our tool and provide feedback. They created a wide range of designs, and they all noted they appreciated the automatic ordering and feedback provided by the tool while they were drawing. Our tool allows designers to focus on the visual design of their quilts, while it handles the tedious details of determining whether the design is foundation paper pieceable.